Okay, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend. This is Tiger. So I'm going to try to keep this video as short as possible, preferably 5 or 10 minutes. I know I've gone through this a couple times before and live, but because of the drawn out, being in the room for 3 hours, I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing so that maybe help you a little bit. So I've got recordings from on the uh, 15th of this month, and then we'll look at the 16th. Just I think this is Thursday and Friday, if I'm not mistaken. 15th, yeah, Thursday and Friday. So we're just going back a couple days. All right. So the very first thing when I get in the room is I look at the trend just to get an idea of which way it's heading long term. I trade just the GU and the UC. So GU's down right now. UC is up right now. That's that simple. Does I'll take it both ways. But it has to give me the right story or justification to take it that way. So the first thing we're going to look for is bounces, simultaneous bounces off of here. And I don't know if this is my mouse when I was recording and not, or that's MT's, I'm not sure. But anyway, so simultaneous bounces off of the 15 and 30 minute with reason to take it up. So you can see actually right here at the beginning of the room, we've only been in the room for about 3 minutes. We got a 30-minute yellow already showing us up off of the flat bounce here. So to me, this is okay to take now. And maybe if I backed it up a little bit, so it had already bounced. It looked like, but there's in the GU, there's enough room. You can see 09 to 62, right? So there's 40 pips here. You don't want it to go against you. You want to take it. If you take it off of the BB band, it's likely to never go against you, or only a couple pips. So, but the moves are enough where if you get in a couple pips late, I haven't had problems. I think in the last month I've lost, if you will, 2 trades. I made all the money back. So, but when I was already up, not really in this case, but I was kind of up in the middle of all this, thinking I was going to take. I took it, and it was just too late, and it came back down. So, uh, I am I'm setting up my take profit and stop loss this week going forward to a stop loss of uh, probably about 12 or 13. That's because of the spread a little bit, and then a take profit of 10. I like to be able to click. I'm doing so many things, and as you guys know, I'm gonna be doing taking a job here in a couple of weeks. So I want to be able to click on a trade and then walk away from my computer and not worry about it. I rarely see anything go against me more than a couple of pips. Probably three, maybe in the last month, have gone around that 10 pip range and have come back up. I'm kind of going off of memory, so it's going to be a little bit of a test. But 10 pip profit, they usually all go that. They usually go more, but my goal is 10 to 20 pips a day, and I'm more than happy. So that's where I'm setting mine up. I'll have a stop loss of probably 13 and a take profit of 10 starting on Monday. And I'll be here in the room every day on the chat for the next 2 weeks. So I'll have a good idea if that's where I want it to be or if I need to move it before I start that job in November. So anyway, so looking at this now, let's go back to the GU. I wanted to kind of just want to let you know where I have my trade set up. So coming off of here, this is probably, that might be before we were in the room. Yeah, so that was before we were in the room. So that was kind of the trade right here. You can see from '09. Oh man, look at that, the 30s. Jeez, that'd have been beautiful. But anyway, we're not there. So what we want to do is watch it bounce off of here and then look for reason to take off the HA. That's kind of what the three charts I use are these two, and then either combine the 5 and the HA or just the HA and the signal. So we'll just kind of fast forward a little bit. So we're up here. I'm not going to take that. And that may have been right where just going to give you an example. Oh, we're kind of in the middle. It's going to keep going up. But we're getting this signal, but it very likely could pull back down here, lose 20 pips, and then go up for 50 or 60. And that's what I've seen a lot of. And the two I've lost in the last month that I kind of recollect, that's what happened. I got in, thought I was going to bounce off the 5-minute, came back down 20, got out, or 15, whatever it was, whatever my stop loss was, and then it shot to the moon. Um, so anyway, so we got our signal down here. We've already got our first bounce, so we're really just waiting for it to come back down. We might get it from here, from 20 down here. This is 09. The BB bands are 09, so preferably get somewhere between 09 and the HA20. See if with this it might bend a little bit, but they're pretty strong. I like yellows, and this pink white are really good on the HA, and then we get some, I think they're greens on the, these greens on the, see on the GC here. Love these greens. These greens or yellows will usually go up until there's another green and yellow like here. So this is probably going to start coming down, or may start coming down. I don't watch it, so. All right, so let's just, I'm going to fast forward a little bit to keep this as short as possible. So look, what I was talking about, we already had our first bounce. We already had a signal flashing here, so a little bit more risky, but definitely possible is just keep taking it off this bottom HA band. It's 20, 21. You know, you could get 5 pips easily multiple times, or down. Even right now, the trend's down, right? Everything's down. So if you're not doing my trade, it's more of a jazz type trade, an MT trade. Everything's down. So every time it comes up here and hits this BB band, just take it down for 5 pips. You got it here, you got it here. We were in the room for this one. So that looks like it got up to about 35 and went down to 20, got up to 35, went down to 20. So you could have 30 pips right there. Not what I'm looking for, though. So we'll just fast forward some more. Let's see, we never had, let me talk a little bit about the arrows. You had a pink, yellow here. You could have got in, but if you didn't take a profit here and you stayed in and it went all the way back to break even, you had it again. You never had a yellow against you. Now we're getting one against us. Okay, so this is where I'm starting to look. I'm seeing the bounce off of 29.14. We know it's around 29.09. So I wanted to get down to 29.09. We're going to bounce here, hopefully. But we're already starting to get a yellow up, saying that this downtrend is going to reverse. We're also bouncing off of the 1 hour. And this is flattened out in the 4 hour with an arrow up. So so anyway, so we're bouncing off the 1 hour here, bouncing off the 4 hour flat here, and a 1 hour or 4 hour up. So to me, this trade's just about ready to get into. I'm going to take this trade up. I'm sure I did. So down to 13. Okay. So we've got, I want to show this people. Well, we need to know how to get in. I'm going to hit this play. So I'm ready to take this up from 09, right? And we're going to let this run for a couple of seconds. And we saw what was going to happen. But once it gets down here, if this is flashing, actively flashing red, or we have a signal, I'm not going to take it up until I'm more comfortable. Look, we lost the HA yellow, so this is still going down. Try to fast forward a little bit. Okay, so not taking it. We still have this area here. We got the yellow back. So that white's going to just break it. Want it to flatten out just a little bit. So now we have actively flashing against us. The yellow's gone, so not taking it. Still not. This might not be. Okay, so now we have, there we go. So even, this is talking about a little bit late, right? So flatten back out here, flatten back out here. We have an HA here. This did break here, but now we're flashing here. We've got momentum flashing here. I said I want to get 09 with mine. Obviously, it went down a little bit more. I can't see how low it went. 03 maybe, 04. So I'm taking this now, somewhere in this area, right? And it's okay. I mean, 3, 4, 5. You got momentum with you. You got your white arrow. You had some yellows flashing. Look at, you got all of this yellow here flashing. Now you have a yellow here flashing. Now you're at 09. So even that was your line up here earlier. I still feel pretty good about getting in at 09 on this one. So, and there, a lot of times when you get these arrows, you don't have something that it might come. There's a good chance it'll come back down here and touch again. Let's see. Nah, maybe not. A little bit. Yeah. So even if you didn't get in, right, you had a second chance to get in 0506. You had you had this arrow come down, but it hit this HA, so it's done its job. Now this yellow is locked in, right? It's there. You've moved on to another candle. You're good. Now you got a super blue red on the 4 hour, and so now we got. Let's see, when did that pop up? I want to show you guys that too. So at some point here in the next few seconds, that super pops up, and we'll just see where that pops up. And I know it's not off of the bottom, but when those are there, when those supers on the HA, they stay in place until there's another one against them, another super or a pink or something like that against them. So even if you, there we're still at 09, which is what I said originally was long, this BB band, it would have been a good entry. You could have got it a few pips lower, and that would have been fine too. I want to see. I just kind of want to see when that super kicks in. There you go at 10. So at 10, now you're getting more signals, and at 18. So now you're even if you're taking it there, you're up 8 already. And look, you got your 10 pips, but I want to show you something. See that yellow pop up right there? That's what someone says. When do you know to get out? Well, this could go up with a flip down here. The whole trend's down. We're going against the trend. I've taken it for 10 pips, right? Even if you got it 10, we just saw it go up to 20. So we know it goes 10 pips and you're out. If we were bouncing off the top BB bands here, maybe it's even better. And this could go up, right? You do have this yellow here, so it could push it up just a little past that 15-minute orange line. But these, once you start seeing these appear, they lock in or they stay in, it's coming the other way. So it did disappear, so you could still be in it right now. You could still be in it right now. You could still be in it right now. Now we're hitting the top of the BB bands on the 5-minute. This has come down. We're about to hit this one, and we're hitting the orange line here. So now you have to be concerned. And actually, at this point, you should be out. If you got in at 10, now you've taken 20 pips. To me, I don't need that much risk in my life. So, but look at that. It continues to go. You're getting yellows here, and so on and so on. All right, so that's one trade. Now look, there's your super. So I told you, look, super here, take it to this super right here. So you got in it. We know it came up at 10, and this one came up probably about 45. It's gonna come down a little. Right? Oh, it's flashing right there. So from 10 to 47, 48, 37 pips. Over 30 pips from arrow to arrow. That's ridiculous. Um, all right, let's see what's happening. UC's bouncing. UC did bounce. Look at that. Off flat here. Lined up. We can back up a little bit and see if we would have got in. I mean, it's okay to miss some of these trades. Okay, it's not. You don't have to be in every one. It's pretty easy to find a couple every day. So now here we've hit the 5-minute here, we've hit the 15 here, we're getting a signal down, we're hitting flat here. We come over here, we've broken through, and we got a blue, we've broken through, and we're hitting the daily. All right, the daily super is a little concerning, but look, it came on the 5 minutes, already came up to 41, came down, came up here again to 41, and it's getting resistance again at 41, and getting arrows down. You're getting momentum down, so it's 34 now. You almost could have taken it when that white one popped up. So you had an arrow down, and you're touching a line right here. I wouldn't have taken this quite. That's maybe in the moment I would have. Sitting there contemplating right now, it's a little different. I probably would have with a super down here, and you're bouncing off of every line. Starting at 40, 41, 40, 39 even. That's a right, and then at some point this white one kicked in, and then this super kicked in. And now you got a white here, and this is super, and now you get this taken down here. So I'm going to stay in this until I have something against me, which might have been this. So if you'd have got in at, let's say, even 38 and all the way down to 28, so that would have been 10 pips right there. My take profit would have been clicked me out of it, and it's fine. Now it's gone back up. If this clicks down, you could potentially take it down again. Or if you want to do 2 trades and keep, take your 10 and then leave the other one in and set it at break even, let it run, take a swing for it. But I think you're good. Like, you got your 10 pips. It came down a couple more times. You could have got out if it went back up against you. A couple. You're still plus 5 pips. Came down here and taken your 10 again. This is flashing. Like I said, if it did turn down. Look at that. It did turn down. It went up and touched it. So your second trade could potentially be off the HA again because everything else is still telling you down. All right, these are just a little bit how to read the charts. Going up. Not really. I mean, you could have taken it off here, but now you're playing within the middle of the middle of the 5 minute. Right, that's just too risky. It obviously wins, but it just shows you how strong some of these signals are. So now you got a super here and a super here. There's a really good chance this is going to break the 5 minute here too. Now, see, that flashed away, so it's not going to break. Yeah, see, now it went up. And now you're talking about a jazz trade. Right? The trend's up, everything's up. You come down and you hit the bottom of the 5 minute BBs or the yellow lines. You hit the orange line on the 15 minute. Right? No, the arrow here disappears. So you're at 33, and jazz is already in this, probably off of the 22 line when you had 2 arrows showing you it's going to go up. This is a jazz trade, right? And it goes from 24 to 34. So you can say, let me show you this, when not to get in. So it hits all these lines again, and you could say, oh, well, did Tiger take this down? Well, no. You saw that active green flash in here, and you're in an active candle breaking through. You don't take that. You wait for everything to flatten back out. You're getting a yellow here, so this might have been your entry 48, but you got to let it flatten out. See how it just flattened out? Now this is going to flatten out, or you're going to get a signal here. You get a signal here, a signal here. Even if it's not flattened out, you can take it, but it has to be flat or signals down. See right here? Look at that. So your signal could have been right there for a few pips. And you got this down here. Second signal, right? And you're still sitting here in this 48, 44 range. Now you got 2 signals down. You still got a blue here. So even if you're taking this like here, you're still only, the most you'd been down at any given point is 2 or 3 pips. So now you're at 48, 47. Right, you could have taken this. You could have taken this down, and hopefully you got out. And if you didn't, you could have got out here, break even type thing. Still going up a little bit. Yeah, so you got momentum. This is coming down though. At some point, it's been up a long time, and everything's got to flatten out. Everything pulls back eventually. So you're still getting a blue down here. Now you have an arrow here. Oh, look, the 15 minutes is flattened out. The 5 minutes flattened out. You got an arrow on right around 59, 58, somewhere in there. Now you got a green. Look at that. This is a beautiful trade down. So green down, white down, yellow down, blue down. Of course, you're already 10 off of here. Let's see when that green showed up. Again, so when you see something like this, you're going to have opportunity to get in. It's going to go for a while. Yeah, I'm not sitting here. Yeah, so it's flashing in and out. 3, you saw it flash in. That means it's going to happen. It's going to eventually kick in full time. So you could have got even at 53. That had been a few pips, 5 or 6 pips off the wall. Or you might have, and as always, if you miss it, if you're too uncomfortable with the risk of that few pips, let it settle in. Like there's going to be another candle that's probably going to pull back. Oh, MT's talking about it now. So that one's still going. Yeah, and now you get another super here. It's too late to get in now unless it pulls back up here. You can take it again. All right, off. So here's another way of looking at it too. If you need a second entry, you see how it's coming here and bouncing off the HA. So you could have got back in at 50. Obviously, it's not 59, but that's about where you could get in. Bounce there, and then you got another arrow down anyway. You got some white arrows down. So 43. Now we're hitting walls. But you have this super here. Now you got a super on the 1 hour. So you can ride this down a little bit longer. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, 43. Oh, into the classroom. Session was over. So get out. Right. You said 50, even a bad trade 50. If you didn't get in off here somewhere, you could have still got 8 pips. And when the room's over, get out. Don't sit in it. Or move your stop loss to about +5 profit, and then let's see if it clicks out. I don't know if this one, I don't remember if this one went out or not. 41. I gotta imagine we got one more pip out of it, especially with all this down here. So that's kind of what I do there. We're at 22 minutes now. So let me bring in Friday's video real quick. Let's just see Friday's video. All right. So same thing. Gotta be bouncing off the lines, bouncing. I don't see anything yet. Still kind of floating in the middle. Okay, so we got to bounce. Came down and touched and got, look at, so we have, yeah, let me show you. So we came down and touched around here, really close. And we're getting signals up already. It looks already pulled up from 73 to 87. That's ridiculous. So there may not have been an opportunity to get in there. But it's just moving so fast. I might have been pausing and I might have been thinking about doing a live video. I might have been pausing this one. That's why it looks like it's moving fast. Okay, so here you go. Either way. So it came down to 73. You have a signal right now at 84. You bounced off of the BB bands on the 30-minute and off of the 15-minute. We're bouncing off the daily on the GU. So we could have got in really anywhere in here between 80. Looks like 80 would have been a good number. A little bit higher than the BB bands, but you're getting signals and you're fine. Yeah, so, and you had, once you got here, you got multiple signals. This is turned up. I like getting, again, I try to get right off of the line, but it is what it is. So 81, 91, you're already 20 pips up from 81. So hopefully at this point, whatever you're in, you've gotten out. And that, look at that, gee, that's still going. And now you got a green, so this will probably run all the way to 30. You got some walls here, but there's a good chance this is going to continue up. Now the wall came down. See, so I said 30 because the wall was there, but now it's slowly come down. So that's it. So you wanted to get out way before that when those walls start coming down, all right? So you're at, said about 80, so you're already 20. And then there it clicks down. It's still 25 pips, but when that sucker came down, you should get out. All Right. UC. So the UC is down, but it's been going up for it looks like a couple hours. The trend's been down for a long time. But so let's look at this. You have on 16 now. You've hit this wall. You've hit this wall. You've got a yellow locked in. You're really close. You know, you're 8 pips away from this wall. And don't be afraid if you don't. If you want to wait till you get all the way to that wall, feel free to wait till you get all the way to that wall. And if you miss some because it doesn't quite get there, then wait for the next one. It's no big deal. Look at that. Wow. So multiple reasons you could have taken. You're hitting the yellow, hitting the BB band on the 15. You're going to start getting signals, right? You got on this white one right here. You got a white signal here. You previously had a green, and no green going against you yet. So all kind of problem. Now you have a super here that could push it through. You had all these arrows. You still have an arrow up yet. Still don't have an arrow up. You have a white one now. Look at, oh my gosh. I must have been in this. I don't even remember. I've taken so many good trades. And they come so often. I don't even remember if I was in this on Friday. But now look, if you would have got in anywhere in here that we just talked about, 15, even 10, it's still up 10, right? And you got an arrow down. That's over 10 pips, or at least 10 pips, depending on when you got in. Okay, so now you're getting yellows against you, right? So that's when you have to be careful. All right, now this flips up. So you made 15, 20, 25, depending on when you got in, right? Anywhere from, we said the yellow line was right around 15, and now you're at 95, so 20 pips. And since you're bouncing, and this is flipping up, take it up. So let's see if we can take this up. So we have a 1 hour down, but we're bouncing off the 1 hour daily, the 4 hour daily, the 8 hour BB orange line, the daily orange line. We got our yellow going up here. So we've got DX flashing. Let's see. Sorry. From 91 to 99, you've already got 9 pips. You got a couple yellows down here. You should easily, yeah, it went and hit this yellow line. I think I do remember talking about this one in the room. I got 10. You had yellows flashing against you. You hit this the yellow line. So go ahead and get out. That doesn't mean you're not going to have, yeah. And I think this one continues up. So my take profit of 10 would have been out, but I would have got 10 once, 10 up. I'm sorry, here twice, once up here, 30 pips today. Had I set a 10 pip profit, I'd have got significantly more. So once you went up here to hit the 5 minute, right, it stopped. And now you got an arrow going against you. So you could get out if you want to. This doesn't mean it's going to come down. It may just come back down to this HA or this orange line and go back up. This might be late in the day, right at turn. It's still coming down. So anyway, guys, that's a hit here and then came right back down, which lines up with the jazz trade, right? So this one could be taken down for 10, up for 10, and then when it hit this one and hit the orange line, if that's your style, then by all means take it. So we're hitting just to close. Now this late in the day, I'm usually not trading at all because it does get a little dicey, but we're flat here on the 5 minute again. We're flat here on the 15. This is gone through and broke. You still have a yellow here. You're bouncing still here. You broke here, but bouncing off the 8 hour, bouncing off the daily. So if you got a signal up, you could take this up. You're still getting signals down here, so breaking a little bit. But even then, if you would have taken it, if you'd have made a bad choice, right, and taken it from, where were we just talking about that? Like, that's still flashing actively against you. You see how it's flashing? So you wouldn't have been in that. It's got to, see, okay, so it stops there. You got a signal, so maybe you took a trade at 78 when you saw this signal, because it is positive. And you're getting blues. I mean, I could see that. I mean, end of the day, here 80, right? Here's 80. You had a signal with you. The fact that it's not flat though, that's a. I'd rather be flat and get in a couple pips late, right, than try to get just those 2, 3, 4. And we're going to lose the room here in a minute, but even then, though, look, I'm not sure where it goes. The room's over. That's the end of it right there. But you're still, if you had taken it, like I said, 80, so there was no reason. It was still actively flashing against you. I think most of this, the last 15 minutes, all during this. Yeah, so that's 87. Yeah, see, it's not quite not flat here or here. So there's just some risk. Even though this has gone back up, you see how it's still down. But I guess if you 86 to 92, 96, if you wanted to do that, you could have. It's just not worth it, not the risk. So anyway, that's a 30-minute video. I hope that helps some. I'm in the room as much as I can be. I'm always in the room, but I'm focused on these charts, right? So hopefully this video comes out well. I'm going to go back, check it out, make sure it sounds good. We got good sound. And then if we do, I will send this over to MT. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and then I'll see you in the room tomorrow.